gotta get cute. Wait, I gotta get cute. We're about to go do some Soca Siren.
Hey.
Soca class. Yeah, it's about to be on.
Research.
Well, for her.
For me.
Because you know I'm
Because I haven't taken a dance class
life.
in years.
Girl, I hope you can make it. It's 90 minutes of wind your waist, wind your waist, wind your waist.
Queen of Bacchanal. I grew up as a real good girl.
So we're here back at Soul TV with today's guest, Careitha Davis, who is going to be our instructor for our Soca and Scotch and Sweat and all that good stuff that we're going to have at the end of this month. So welcome, Careitha.
Thank you. Thank you for welcoming.
Absolutely. So I'll tell our audience how I met you.
Mm-hmm.
I was taking dance classes at Kumbe. And Kira was our dance instructor. And you'll see, Zenzele will put in that you'll see we went to her class a few weeks ago.
Hi everyone, this is Kira. She's a Soca teacher. I haven't taken a class in ages. I'm really excited.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. I hope you guys all enjoy, and I hope it all inspires you to get up, get out, and start moving.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Hope you enjoy.
Ago. So Kira was our dance instructor, and that class was so much fun. It was Afro Soca. And then Kira left and left us amazing Careitha. And the first day I was like, I hope she's as good. Because you know, Kira's real good.
Yeah.
And the first 30 minutes, she actually had us working out. I was like, why are we stretching? Why is she putting us in this position? Like, this is a workout. She's making us work. And then we got into the dance, and I fell in love with her energy. She makes you feel like you are a soca queen. Once you're done, the choreography isn't too crazy, but it still pushes you. So when we thought of having a soca dance class, instantly, I thought, I gotta get Careitha. Not to mention we were in Trinidad Carnival together. We saw each other in the hotel like, ah!
That was great.
Yes.
Yeah,
So, tell us a little bit about yourself, how you started dancing, teaching, everything.
Sure. Well, I started dancing at the age of 6 years old. One of those young breeds in the dance studio. What was great about it is dance came to me. I was in an elementary school, and my friends and I were always dancing like by the bathroom or in the hallway. And the principal noticed that. The principal was from Trinidad as well. And she contacted a dance company called Creative Outlet, Dance Theater of Brooklyn, to come and teach after school dance. And ever since then, that same company, Creative Outlet, took us in for about 10 to 11 years and raised us as dancers and exposed us to different choreographers, different dance educators. We went to a lot of venues, great venues in New York City, BAM, Lincoln Center, and it was just a true blessing. And ever since then, dance has really became a part of my life.
Are you or your parents, are you Caribbean?
Totally Caribbean. Both parents is from Trinidad and Tobago, and the whole family is from there. And, you know.
So that makes me wonder, when you told your mom and dad that you wanted to be a professional professional dancer.
Yeah.
What was that like? How did that?
It's all right though. I mean, it was definitely the reaction as, you want to study dance? Dance is not a career. Like, why would you want to study dance? We know you love it, Careitha, but that's not a serious career. And you know, they didn't really buy into it immediately. But then they realized, listen, all my child loves to do is dance. And I can't peel away from this. So my mother was like, well, okay, if you want to dance, we got to figure out a way for you to make money and dance. And I was like, all right, well, cool.
I want to do that.
Yeah.
I want to dance and make money.
Exactly. And that's when dance education became an idea, you know, because that way I could still do it, make money teaching the young kids in the city schools and, you know, hopefully in universities as well. And yeah.
How was your time at NYU and getting your MA in dance? How?
It was great. Well, what I appreciated the most is that I was around intellectual dancers that was passionate about dance, but also wanted to make a change in young people's lives, because there wasn't a lot of growing up. Dance wasn't popular in schools, and I think that now it's getting more and more noticed as a true asset to children's education. So just being there was a great network. It was a new crowd for me to be in, which was great. We needed new peers to be around, and I learned a lot. I learned a lot on how to be a hard worker.
Right.
I learned a lot on how to be dedicated to the work that I'm doing. I'm so used to being in the studio doing, the papers and the research and all that stuff. That was something I had to build, so it was a great experience.
So outside of soca, because we'll talk about soca in a minute, outside of soca, what's your favorite type of dance?
I would say modern contemporary.
Okay, for the rest of us, what does that mean?
It's very expressive,
right.
Which is all dance is highly expressive. But this one is a little bit more grounded, and it includes a level of technique, ballet, but at the same time, you have that freedom, that creative freedom to express yourself differently. It's hard to explain.
No, I love it. I love it. See, I didn't even know all of this about you.
Think of Alvin Ailey.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's all you had to say.
Yeah.
That's all you had to say.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. So now soca, which is how we met, and she's such a dynamic teacher. I can't wait for you guys to come. Let's talk about two ways. One, I've been having this fit, right? Because I feel like soca and dance hall and all of our dances, sometimes our community feels like it's inappropriate.
Yeah.
And then Becky Sue and Maggie Jane go ahead and become dance hall queens and soca queens, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, look at this, look at me twerk. Look at me whine. What do you think about that? Like how we think about our own culture and dance, but then like other people's appropriation of it.
Yeah. To be honest, I totally agree with your observation, but I don't think about it that much, because once we start thinking about it, it becomes a separation. And I think as you continue to own your culture, people naturally will gravitate to it. So, there's a borderline of having someone feel like they're taking something from you, and the more we own it is the more people would appreciate it, and I think that's what's going on. Some people are just appreciating more because we've owned it so well. So we can't really lose that perspective of this is my culture, and I will expose it, and people are gonna take it. That's the whole point of exposing something. You give people the opportunity to take from it. So I think that a lot of people misunderstand Caribbean dancing. It's...
What's the misunderstanding that they have?
That it's highly sexual, that it's too loose, it's not appropriate, what are you doing with children and dancing on the street like that, or dancing in parties like that? And it's all opinion, but once you go to Trinidad Carnival and you experience it, you understand that it's deeper than how it looks. You know what I mean? It's more of an experience that people go through.
So I will say, it is highly sexual, but I think that how we're raised, our cultural context is different. So it is highly sexual in this context with people who are kind of always shying away from anything sexual.
Yeah.
But from a little kid, I'm in Carnival in Antigua, and I'm in the Majorettes, and I'm winding my waist, and it wasn't seen as sexual, even though it is. All of that hip movements, all of that gyrating, I guess it's more sensual. But I think it's the context, because we're in a, the first time I came to Labor Day on Eastern Parkway, right outside my door, because I'm that dope. That's where I live now. But when I was little, when I used to come with my godmother from the Bronx, I would hear other people just be like, oh my God, what are they doing?
Yeah.
And I'd be like, they're dancing. But when you have a man and a woman and they're whining and she's doing a head top, or it's 6:30, you can't tell me that it's not a little bit
I know. Well, that's where, and that's why it's so appropriate for people like me and people like Kira and whoever else is doing soca dance classes or traditional folklore Caribbean dances to expose a level of appropriation to the Caribbean dancing. I do agree. It kind of lost itself for a minute, you know, and young people immediately want to grab the inappropriateness of it, you know what I mean? So now it's time to like push what is acceptable. It kind of lost itself for a minute.
I think that young people, I mean, it's kind of age appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
I can think back to being 16 in my high school parties.
Yeah.
And Flex comes on and you be like, well, I know what the dance for that is. Like, it's age appropriate that young people want to like engage themselves like that. I think for us at Soul Sistah Series, we're talking a lot about pleasure.
Yeah.
And connecting with ourselves. Like when you said you were like, okay, yeah, I really want to be a dancer and make money out of this, but I had to dig within myself.
Yeah.
We see dancing as a part to kind of dig within yourself, kind of get into that feminine core. When I see little kids at Kitty Carnival, like I go out to Kitty Carnival just to see the little kids just have fun because they're not sexual.
And
they're doing
innocent.
everything. They're just like, it's my music, it's my culture. So I agree with you that we have to kind of take control. And it wasn't until I started taking classes with you and Kara that I was like, oh right, this is an actual step. Right, look at how I know the first time Kara broke down, like, it was a whine, but it took, like, I didn't realize she didn't start straight from a whine.
Yeah.
Then when we got there, I was like, why she ain't just say let's whine, y'all? Why we have to go through these 6 steps? But then I forgot some other people needed to go left, right,
some people don't
front, back.
have that, fluidity.
Right.
Yeah.
They didn't get that as a child.
No, it's not natural.
It's not natural. For some of us, it's a little bit more natural. I'm like, the first time I took the class with Kara, I'm like, I dance to soca, I party, I do everything. That first class, I was like, Lord God, there's more than just whining. So like, how do you even start to think about the routine or what you're going to teach someone and bringing that down?
Honestly, it all comes from listening to the music. As you listen to Caribbean music, there's so much rhythm in it. You know, that really takes over your hips and your shoulders and your chest, you know, and your feet. So my first step is always listening to the music and digesting it. And then from there, I take from my African roots, you know, Senegalese dancing, West African dancing, and combine it with what I know from soca dance that we all know. Gyrating and shifting the hips and all that kind of stuff. So I just blend that in so that I can add like a level of technique, you know? So it won't be just, oh, I know how to do soca dancing, I do it all the time, party with my friends. No, so when you come to the class, you're learning more of a technique, you know, towards it. So, but one thing I am going to do for sure is have all the women who's attending your event, make sure they understand to be individuals. You don't have to look exactly like me. Because I'm me, you're you, your guest is themselves as well. So understand the movement, but do it naturally as possible that suits you.
Well, that's the thing with dance class, and that's what happened with Zenzele and I when we were in Kara's class. She took it to a level of difficulty. We were like, Kara, what's happening? Like, I don't know how to do that stuff. But that I love that you do it and she does it. It makes you feel very comfortable. You do what you can. This is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to engage you in a way that you are enjoying yourself. And you will enjoy yourself.
Hey! Hey!
You know, that's the thing that I realized about you, that first class. You'll push, but then it's still about having fun. And I know me, a lot of my friends, we hate choreography, but I tell you, you can do choreography if you stop thinking and just start feeling. At least that's what happens.
Exactly.
Stop thinking about it and just start feeling it through. She does a really great job of giving you that confidence. Just feel it through and do the dance.
Thank you.
Yeah. So at Soul TV, we always ask our guests the same 3 questions. And so I don't want you to think about it. Just come up with your first answer.
Okay.
What do you think when you hear the word pleasure?
When I hear the word pleasure, I think of sensuality. I think about happiness, and I think about freedom.
Yeah. Oh, freedom. I like that one. And what's your favorite way to pursue pleasure?
Favorite way to pursue pleasure, I would have to say being around people that love me and that I love as well. That's number 1. Number 2, doing something that's a little kind of like something that works for me, you know? If it's cooking my favorite meal, if it's doing something with my partner, if it's going shopping and spending as much money as I feel like, whatever it is, that's giving me pleasure at the moment.
Right,
you know?
Self-affirming.
Yeah,
Something
self-affirming.
that, just taking care of yourself. How do you pursue pleasure when shit is just happening? When it's just like, why is everything going wrong? How do you kind of ground yourself and get back to pleasure?
I would have to say I pray.
Yeah.
I pray and I read and I have time for myself. I press the reset button, you know. And you have to do that. You can't just continue being around everyone and continue doing what you need to do. You need to take a big time out.
I like that.
Yeah.
Pressing the reset button.
Yeah.
So, we can't wait for you guys to come out and experience some soca with Careitha and I and the rest of the Soul Sistah Series ladies. Stay tuned. She is doing big things. You might see her at a party or in Carnival. Just say, hey, Careitha girl, and then follow her waistline. Try to do what she does in your own specific, special way.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you.
out and spending time
Thank
with
you.
us. And we can't wait for our class.
Yeah, this one is our paid song.
So Kara has made us do like the most choreographic routine. What happened to just the vibe?
I know.
I had to do all this.
Yeah, I know. I gotta switch it up on you guys sometimes. You understand?
But I just rolled with it. I was just like, I'll catch it where I can.
You guys did great though. Thank you for
It
coming
was a lot
out.
of fun.
In August.
August, I'll be back, and it won't be as combination heavy. It's gonna be more vibe heavy.
Yes.
So y'all should come out, wind up, walk up, and learn the vibes. Come feel the vibes.
Soul Sistah Series, in pursuit of a pleasure-filled life, though shit keeps on happening. Come out and join us this July for Soca and Scotch. More details coming soon.